imagine that there are two different people. One is a 15-year-old at her home, in her bedroom with her earplugs plugged in, scrolling. Suddenly, she gets a message from someone on Instagram. They know her name, her school, and all of her friends. They know everything about her, but she knows nothing about them. And she does not know what to do. The second is a 72-year-old woman sitting at her kitchen table. She just got an email from someone saying that her bank account information has been classified. There's a number and a logo to call.
And she's about to call it. Two different generations of people, two different situations with technology, and today, both of them are at risk. Let's start first with teenagers. To teenagers today, we are the first generation that is completely online. And for us, that world is everything. Nearly half of American teenagers report that they're online almost constantly, spending an average of 3.5 hours on social media every day. 3.5 hours on social media on platforms that were engineered to pull you back in. Every like, every notification, every comment is engineered to keep you there. But these actions have real consequences. 8 out of 10 teens report exposure to at least one online safety risk in 2025. Furthermore, 70% of young people say that they feel worse about using social media after they do it. Worse, after these platforms were created to bring people closer and closer together. But the real problem stems from one issue. Platforms grew fast, and we stopped asking questions about who was actually using it. Young people were never in the room when these decisions were being made about them. So I decided to be in that room myself. I was a part of Snapchat's inaugural Council for Digital Wellbeing, where a group of young people came together to ask questions about online safety, especially for the youth. I asked questions about the shame that teens felt about reporting online situations because they felt unsafe, and about parental controls, how surveillance can often be the reason why teens feel farther and farther away from actually seeking the real help. And these conversations led to real change. I was featured in the First Lady's Youth Online Safety Campaign, the Be Best Initiative, where I talked about increasing prioritization of youth online safety for online safety companies. Furthermore, I was a panelist at the Safer Internet Day conference where I talked about the stigmas of reporting online situations online alongside leaders from TikTok and Roblox. Furthermore, my suggestions about location sharing were integrated into Snap's first ever online safety curricula, now used by millions of families across the world. But now, let's shift stories a little bit to the other 72-year-old grandma sitting across the kitchen counter. When I was little, my grandma taught me something new every day. From how to spell exercise to 16 times 16, she taught me everything that I knew. But over time, I saw our roles reverse, and I was the one that had to teach her how to use technology, how to send emails, delete photos, or text my dad. These things were simply second nature to me, but for her, each tap carried the hesitation of breaking something forever. During COVID, this isolation turned into fear. The same technology that was designed to bring people closer and closer together pushed people further and further apart. And I saw all of her friends, that they had no one to turn to when technology failed them. No one patient enough, no one willing to listen. But I also realized that isolation is not just being lonely, it's dangerous. In 2024 alone, seniors lost $4.8 billion to scammers in 2024, part of a 33% increase from the year prior. And these scams are not just some random scams, they are sophisticated. An email from the bank, a phone call from the IRS, people online who are warm and friendly and kind and make people feel seen before asking them for their money. The median amount of money lost for any older adult in 2025 was around $1,000. And this is not just a simple number. For them, that's groceries, that's medication, something that they spent their life building. And even beyond financial loss, this ruins their anxiety and confidence levels to the point where they can't even gain it back. So someone had to look out for them. So I decided to fix it. And I built TechniKid, a nonprofit that connects tech-savvy youth with older adults for patient personalized support. No lectures, no rushing, just someone sitting down and saying, this is how you do it. And this is something when you realize that something isn't right. Over the last 4 years, we've reached over 10,000 people and reached over 250,000 worldwide. We also launched a youth online safety campaign called the 1 Million Secure Together around educating people on how to stay safe online. And in just 4 months, we've reached over 300,000 people worldwide. But the main message to take away from this is knowing that when you create a safe environment where someone feels the freedom to ask, is this right, or can I click this? That's when something truly changes. So, going back to these two people, different generations, different relationship with technology, and in different worlds entirely. But the one thing that they have in common is that they both deserve to feel safe online. The internet isn't going away. In fact, it's going to become a greater part of our lives year after year after year. And the important thing to realize is that we need to build technology and use technology in a way that prioritizes safety. So, let's show up for the teenagers and for the grandparents in our worlds, and we can come together to make our world a safer place online.